Alrighty, we are live. Hey everybody, I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. Now, today we are going to get stuck into the bit further into the engine and the hull of the Boss Mustang 351, 1971. So yeah, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of the scenario. Alrighty. Excuse me. Now we're going to come in. Now, before we even get started, we all know the drill, people. Now, round we come. Something I did yesterday, and I thought I'd actually, I was hoping Bassman would be around because it's an important detail. When I put these rocker covers on, I'll need to zoom in a bit here. I assumed that the caps would go the same side, but they don't. And in fact, if you look closely there, you might be able to see that it does make them uneven. The thing you got to remember, and this is the correct way around, happily, or will be once it goes on, they go at opposite ends. And that's important for a whole stack of reasons, obviously. Well, the fact that it's correct goes a long way. So we'll get that addressed first up. Now, I'd say we're probably going to be spending the bulk of the session on our hull, I would say, because I haven't got didn't get around to contacting the place that I believe has 3D printers. And I will need to do that today. Although conveniently, I wasn't planning on doing anything more on this until probably Monday. My Monday. Here it's Tuesday. Alright, let's do this. Now, yeah, just make sure that's nice and even. And that is the correct configuration. Oh, hey David, how are you doing? Yeah, right. Yeah, I've had that. I've had a few issues. I've just re-put this one on. I don't know if you caught the very... Ouch, I just accidentally poked myself in the eye. How does one do this behavior? I'll see if you a moment. Ow. I had an itch on the cheek and I was trying to... Yeah, anyway. Long and the short of it, I had that, which is where the cap goes, positioned around that way, because I assumed, no use of that wonderful word. How you doing, by the way? That the caps would be going the same way. And I'd come in and had a bit of a look-see last night, and I could tell that they were at the same angle. I couldn't work it out. And then I looked more closely on the assembly sheets. That's how they're supposed to be. One there, one there. Boom. So that's the drill there. Now, I haven't contacted the 3D printers, and in many ways, I think that's possibly a better option on... Where's the blade gone? I think I've lost the blade anyway. Nice one, big boy. Let's have a look. Fell into now what I might do, here we go, because I can get hold of that other kit that has potentially got a fan that we could use, and have a look and see if it does, because then we can get onto this. Let's get onto that. Option 2 is to, oh, hey, go for it. How are you doing? Is to, excuse me. Yes, now. Decal 25. Now, did we do that one? I'm trying to remember. I know how I can find out. Now, it might be, and decals 35 here. Ooh, there's lots of decals. What we might want to do, let's back this horse up a bit. Zoom out a bit so you can see what I'm looking at. Now, there's quite a few bits to go on first. I'm thinking we can get the caps on now on the rocker covers. I know that other one hasn't dried, but it's pretty stable because of the fact they've got this little raised area for it to hold it in position. So we can get them on. We'll need to let the engine dry for a bit because the other stuff sort of goes upside down. Now that's the oil filter, and we do have that decal on, but we don't have the decals on the rocker covers yet. So what I'd be thinking, all right, I'm developing a plan of attack on this. What I'm thinking is I'll put the caps on while they're drying. We can possibly, we'll do some painting, and then at a certain point of time we will get the engine upside down so we can get these bits on, and then when it's back up the right way we'll start to get those decals on. There we go, there's a plan. So now next, pardon me, okay, what we're doing here, the caps. Right here, right now, right here. Oh dear. Let's have a look at them. Now another thing that something that Revell have done that I find most excellent is they have very specific shapes, so as you can't get them incorrect. They will go a certain way and in you go. Now we'll go one at a time. Do I wish to hit this with a bit of acrylic? There's a question. Answer is yes. Yes, I do. Now, because they're so small, I'm going to make them, put them somewhere sensible. There's a concept. Got it. Okay, I'm going to need to do both at the same time. Although I won't trim them. I'll do them sort of, I'll paint them one with the whole operation one at a time. Now, what this is, give us a bit of a, yeah. The part we're looking at is there. And what it is is that, give me a moment, we will find somewhere on here, there's a spot that's the wrong cut. There it is. There. We need to tidy that up. And we'll need to tidy it up on the other side. It won't take long to dry as we'll use an acrylic. And what I'll do is I'll pop them on a shelf over there that I can see quite clearly. I do not want to go through the rumble of dropping them because they're small and they're going to be cunty to find. That's the bottom line here. Oh, hey, Bassman, how you doing? Oh, forgot to add, when I said hello, David, say hello to her ladyship. And Bassman, say hello to Basswoman. Here's a question, Bassman. Do you have a man cave? Because you know what that is, don't we? The Bass Cave. Jesus. There it is. There we go. Just pop that over there to dry. Next. Was it getting glitchy on you, David? Now, there we go. Let's cover that up. And now, risk of flogging the concept. We all know what the car is, don't we? All you need is this old dude named Alfred hanging around, and you are so there. Yeah, right. That's weird, David, and it would be frustrating. Ha! The Bassmobile. Now, next, that's what I was going to do. Oh no, I decided I was going to wait for the contacting the 3D printing place. Excuse me. Now. Next, what we can do. Oh wow. Once the engine's done, it's going to be Deckle City to set up the interior. Wow. Check this out. The Bassmobile. Yes, your cover is the Bassmobile. But yeah, check out how many decals are involved in setting that up, which is kind of cool. But then there's also here, and then there's da 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 on the seats. And so it goes. The interior is an absolute decal fest. So that's going to be a bit of yakka all on its own, but that's a whole nother story. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, you know, I would be thinking that I've been waffling for long enough that we could probably actually put those caps on now. All right, so we might as well do it. I reckon I might use crystal clear on this one. And if you haven't worked out what the ultimate outcome of this can be, and it's just a bit too easy, mate. Ready for this one? You ready? No. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't even go into the whole Boss Man. No. Sorry, that was just too easy. You should consider yourself lucky you're one of the few people who has theme music. Actually, as an amusing little aside, I actually have a kit for the Batmobile. And yeah, all in due course, that shall happen. Now, let's make sure I get this the right way. I'm going to look at yuts. And that way, I think. Boom. Oh, that looks cool. Like what they've done there. Once I've got the other one on, I'll zoom in. Now, get just another little bit of touch glue. Come here, you. There we go. Now, let's get the other one in, and then I'll give you a zoom in. I like how the caps are, well, certainly the first one's already contrasting quite nicely. Now you go into there. Beautiful. Oh yeah, baby. Now yeah, Australia. Yeah. Look, okay. We got Batman, yeah, for sure, as you can gather, because I was actually a big fan of the original Batman. And I used to borrow my grandfather's gauntlets because they were the gloves, you see. I'd play Batman. Na, 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 na. Is there? No, not really, mate. Look, here we go. I'm going to give you the breakdown here on. Now, there we go. Here's our caps on the rocker covers. And I've got to say, I really like that contrast. It looks very nice, very clean, very pretty. They've done well. Yeah, liking that. Liking that a lot. Now, it does. Now, the deal with spiders and indeed, okay, let's go through the list. I believe we've got a reputation for spiders, snakes, sharks, crocodiles, and jellyfish. And yes, it is entirely correct that any of those animals in the wrong time and place will do you a pretty major nasty. However, the reality is that you don't actually encounter them that often. In some instances, it's only in certain parts of the country. Like you don't get crocs where I am. They are simply not an issue. I'm in the southern part of Australia. Now, as opposed to the crocs are up in pretty much all of the northern ones. Down here, we get sharks. But your odds of encountering a shark, it's statistically a known fact that you're more likely to get. Now, there's another one here. Let me see if I've got this decal on this part here. That's part 111. Anyway, so in truth, those sorts of marine and aquatic animals are simply not an issue. I think I have. Oh, good work, big boy, if I have. Go you, I say. Let me just check that. We do, look, you don't really know. They're around, and it's like anything. Every country has its things to watch out for, you know. I have. Very good. That's sensible of me. We can put this on its relevant spot. Because that goes on to this. Now, like for example, I don't encounter any of the usual greeblies generally around the traps. You just don't. Where you're going to find them is in the corners of sheds. That's where you're going to find your spiders. So you don't generally see a lot of them. Now, that's generally. So yeah, not really. And all those nasties, those things you hear about Australia having savage wildlife, well, yeah, we do. But you don't encounter them very often, in honesty. Although I would say that some of our herbivores will go you pretty brutally, and should not be treated as nice, friendly animals because they straight out aren't. Kangaroos, yeah. You might have heard that they can get a bit feisty and aggressive and be unpleasant. You betcha. They will go you hard and they will hurt you. The one that, and they're pretty common. Now, And in fact, here's a funny story for you. My um first ever fight, and bearing in mind I've had quite a few, of course, because I've been having been a bouncer and yada yada yada. Was when I was in nappies and was against a wallaby, and there's photographic proof. I clearly thought this wallaby was friendly. Whatever, man. Whatever. And went up to give it a hug. Wallaby, he wasn't so keen. And I'm going to need tweezers, I would suggest do this because of the proximity it is to that. Whereupon he's dropped me to the ground with a typically sorry, I'm just identifying as to which way around this goes, and I think I've got it sorted. Yeah, right, that makes sense. And yeah, anyway, that was the rule do that to you. And when you're talking about some of the bigger ones, if you encounter a bull red, you don't get them around. And also, this is the types of roos depend on the part of the country you're in. The roos we get around here aren't that big, but if you go to the west and you encounter a big, chunky bull red, yeah, don't piss him off, mate. He will drop you hard. And that's a dead set serious thing. The one, probably the bit nastiest, or potentially the nastiest animal you would deal with, though, as far as nasty injury, is actually a bird called a cassowary. And again, fortunately, you don't encounter them where I live. And I'm very glad for this because they are scary. They are scary, genuinely scary. I believe as far as it goes, because a lot of dinosaurs apparently evolved into the birds. And as far as it goes, the cassowary is the closest thing to a dinosaur amongst our current amongst birds. And it's pretty obvious when you look at it too, because it's got this big horn on its head. And it can headbutt you with that and do you a major nasty right there. Now, this isn't quite going as I might wish, as you can see. But the bigger concern with the cassowary is they've got these feet with these god-awful claws on them. And if they want to attack somebody, they'll actually come flying in and try and get those claws into your midsection and rip down. Again, has anybody died from that? No, but that is the way they fight amongst themselves. So yeah. So yes, we have some frightening animals that will do you a nasty. And spiders, yeah, you betcha. But you just don't encounter them, man. Okay, if I just put some crystal clear in there, I reckon we're good. Because sometimes it's a thing, of course, where a bit of glue goes a long way. Now, I've probably answered that question more extensively than I You actually wished, but there you go. I mean, I remember when a mate of mine who moved to Canada, is saying how you have to be aware of if you go camping, you need to be aware of how to let bears know that you're coming. Like you wear a bell so that the bears know you're coming, and that way you don't alarm them. So that way you're safe from the bears. And okay, yeah, I can see that. Because the bears won't attack you unless they're alarmed. And I thought, well, that makes sense. And the need to put out a bear bag when you go camping, and okay, yeah, sounds sensible. And every now and again, someone gets taken by cougar, and they'll do what? And you say, yeah, it's a thing. He said in the same way that every now and again, someone will get taken by a shark. Over here, someone will get taken by mountain lion in Canada. Although we did add, it's not as common. And shortly after that conversation, I bumped into a guy from Canada, and said to him, "You've got some fucked up wildlife, man." And whoops, and he's hey, this part's been a bit tricksy. Why, you little... And anyway, and he said, I think it's a case of what you're used to. What do you mean? He said, have you not noticed your own animals? I said, how do you mean? He's just gone through the list. And they're going, well, yeah, but geez, this is getting a bit nerve-wracking now, guys. I know what I might want to use. I said, well, yeah, but you don't see them. And he said, well, that's the thing. It's a bit like that in Canada. And I thought, the man has a point. Hey. This is getting frustrating. Now you come with me. Come with me. Come on. But yeah. There's got to be a way of getting this in. This is getting frustrating now. Tweezers. These tweezers weren't helping. There's got to be an easy way of doing this, or easier way of doing this. Stop pissing me off, you cunty little thing. Oh, you. Getting frustrated. Why, you little... I'm going to leave that for a bit. I'm going to get a toothpick and clear that hole out. I'm going to come back to that because I'm getting very shitty now, and that's not helping my cause. I'm wondering if I'd be advised, give me a moment, to first let's do that. And what I might, my wrist now is starting to play up, of course, as it does. Oh, yay. What I might do is we're going to get a sharp file. I'm not going to get back, but I'm going to want to clear out the glue anyway. I might. Oh dear, stretch that wrist. Now, we'll get into here a bit. Make sure that's nice and clear of any glue. Might even have widened that up a bit, which may be no bad outcome of its own. Although I would say that on the whole, all the parts of this have fitted really well. So I'm inclined to think it's just that I'm not quite getting it the way it needs to go. All right, we'll pop that back to there. I'm going to return to that at a later juncture because it's been testing my patience for too long. And I will soon start getting shitty. And that's not a good position to try and do shit with. That's my take on it. Now, Now. Do you mind, bloody things? So, I'll get back onto that. It only takes me about 10 minutes to sort of get my mind around a few things. Let's see what else we can get onto in the interim. What if I go from that angle? Oh, sorry, distracting myself with lines of thought. Now, well, I reckon one thing we can definitely do. Come here. Turn that upside down. There we go. Now, going back a couple of steps. Right, now, so with our engine bang, so it's on that side. Yeah. Right, and that goes. Just checking something. Okay. It's not quite clear where this, to me, where this part goes. I think there. Yeah, I reckon, because that's the only thing that's different in any meaningful way to this. All right. So I reckon we'd want to be getting our those lower ones on first, I think. So we're looking for part 110. Which then goes, hang on, 110 is not on this sprue apparently. Which means it would be on another sprue, would have thought, eh? 110. Boom. You're right, it's going to have to go that way. I think. Anyway. Ooh. It's a bit snug. Oh, no, I see how it goes. I got it. I'm on the program. Now. Right. Let's have a look. Let's trim. Now this goes just into there, which you're going to need a bit of magnification on. We're about to go in and put a part onto there, being this part. Now, I'll give those ends a file. Let's see how this goes on once we've given that done just that. I can use the ends sides of that. There we go. Right. And that should go just almost without even gluing it. But it'll sit like that. That easy, kids. Better glue it, hey? Now, you see, this is why I think with the other part, it possibly is just my error. Look how nicely that will sit for us. Well done, Revell. You've done well, chaps. Oh, dearie me. My wrist is playing up a bit. When do I next get it worked on? I can do some stuff for myself. I see my acupuncture therapist on Thursday. My arm's been a lot better though. Now, here we go. There we go, that's plenty. Get on there, damn you. And boom. Might just get a toothpick to give it a nudge to make sure. Oh, you bitch of a thing. Bit clumsy of me, perhaps. Get in there. There we go. Right. And is that all the way in? Looks like it to me. Jolly good. Right, that easy. Now, round we come. Next, on this side, the oil filter, which goes up this end. I think I see where it goes. Anyway, here's let's have a look at the bottom of the oil filter, because what might be an identifying. Yes, I do see where it goes, I think. I would suggest, I'm just keeping an eye on this, making sure that I'm right there. Easy way to find out, isn't it, kids? Let's let's give it a bit of a touch and see how it goes. Now, regardless of how I go about this, this is going to be a bit cunty, I think. I should. How old's your son, Bassman? I should probably watch my language if he's around. Depending on how old he is. It is coming along. It is looking nice. I'm pretty chipper with it. Thank you, Bassman. Wrong way. There we go. Now, I think oil filter goes there. I think. Where's the... Where did I put it? Where is it? Ah. Gotcha. Out you go. Now... Well, just give that a little bit of a file. And I'll possibly give that a little... Do I want to touch that paint up now? Or do I want to do it after? Or do I want to roll with the premise that almost no one's going to notice that? Oh no, that's not how I roll. Now, fortunately, I have an acrylic white, so I can use that quite happily. And I will too. That way we can get this one on directly. Oh, that's all right then. Not in that one. Which means it's in my big box of acrylics. Come here, you. I think I've might have told you the rather amusing tale of me going out to watch my old club play. My old club play, basically. At one stage, one of the opposition players has made one of those rather incisive runs that do happen. They're going to happen against you at some stage during the course of the game. If you clean sheet people, you know, they're going to have some say in the matter. They're going to try and stop that. Anyway, and as the guy's making his run, I just lost my shit. And I bellowed, "Oh, for fuck's sake, just tackle the cunt." And then my mate, who took me to the game, has just pointed out that I'm standing directly behind this old granny. And I've gone, "Oh, I'm very sorry." And, but you must understand, I was a fresh-faced choir boy before I came to the rugby club. And she's just replied with, "Oh, it's all right, dear. I hear far worse from my husband." And, oh, hey, Jeff, how you doing? Oh, cool. And, yeah, my mate's also put me in my place with the line of, "I've known you for many years now. You've never been fresh-faced. You're no choir boy, neither." Itchy back. Now, I'll just like to give this oil filter just a little touch. Get a little more precise a brush for this one because of the decal. One nail, where is it? Just there. All right, that won't take long to dry, and we'll put that on. Now I'll clean this brush. Some storms, yeah, right. Control tower, that'd be cool. Now, actually, David, I didn't mind the payout from my mate because at the end of the day, fresh faced choir boys are generally not what's required for playing front row. I'll tell you exactly who the sort of people they require for playing front row, and I can state this categorically. Marvelous game, I tell you. At least if you know what you're doing. All right, let's see now. Do I want to consider putting the exhaust on this side? Probably. That's a bit. Oh no, that's quite stable, I think. No, that's good. That's good. Now there would be a correct side for this, so we better get that right. This is 107. Which will go that way. Yeah, boom, like that. Let me just... Yep, all right. Let's see how this goes on. Now what I know is that we're going to need to do a bit of tidying up on this too. Tricksy. So how does it go on? Ah, I see. But yeah, a bit of tidying up. And what it does, or how it goes, and in fact, is it sort of goes on in between these little gaps there and sits just, give me a moment, thusly, roughly. Obviously, I'll be a bit more precise when I glue it, but there, like thus, coming out of there and boom. So first, however, let's just tidy these up. And I reckon I will, in this instance, probably do the tidying up of the paintwork once it's these are in situ. So yeah, I like the yellow submarine colour of the car. Yeah, well, Lauren's going to be living in that at least. Ah. Was that a Ringo Starr one? No. Yep, okay, good. Ah. And there. Yeah, I'll get onto that one. I've got to go out pretty. Indeed, I need to be aware of the time again today. I had hoped to put in a big sesh. But I do need to be aware of the time again. Trying to think what's the best day I can put in a long session. Might not be till Thursday, but yeah, anyway. But I'll check it out this afternoon, my time. Yeah, I'll let you know. Sure, it'll be fine. Looking forward to seeing it. You do some very nice work. Now, wait, that was not helpful. I ask you, peeps. Now, do I want to consider moving that as I do? I want to put that at that angle for the time being, because that's going to make it a bit easier now, isn't it? And I can probably take my time on that and just. Why am I doing it from that far away? There's a question I have for myself. Now, they seem to have a point. Now, let's have a look here. Am I putting them too low? Possibly. Is it like that? Better make sure I get it right, hey? I'm not sure that's a problem. Let's have a look on at later stages so as we can get a better AK. Now, they seem to have right. So we need to be right up. I got it. So do these go? You're not getting this. We're not understanding it, perhaps, is a better way of wording it. So if it's got to be up to there, and this moving is not helping my cause. Now, I'm thinking there because that sort of like encompasses the Yeah, there. That makes sense. Right. After all of that, let's get these on. In fact, of course, that makes sense now that I look at it. Just into there. Bam. The moment you're there, you're there. Boom. Only question I have is, would it be? No. All right, let's do that. Now, get a bit of glue going. Get the glue going. Now, while that's drying, we'll see about getting that other part onto the other bit that I was fiddling with. You got frustrated with. All right, let's do this. And just wipe that bit of, and move this around thusly, and boom, boom, boom. Oh no, that whole structure's come off. That's okay. Stay cool. What we'll do, that's okay. What I'll do is I'll let that dry and then I'll put the whole thing on. It's annoying, but if not one thing though. There we go. All right, maybe you pop that. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Now, that still stayed in place. So clearly that's sitting quite nicely. Now, yep. You get over here. Well, if nothing else, what that does is it makes it very easy to get the other one straight on. Once, like I said, once that other part that fell off or has come off dried, I'll put the entire segment on in one go. All right. Now, I think this will be a fairly straightforward op, hopefully. Now, where I think this goes is just there. Yep, I can see that. And in this instance, may as well make it nice and easy for us, or relatively easy for us, and do that. Now, excuse me while I massage my wrist a bit, it's being very temperamental. Now. We'll go for some crystal clear on this one. want to go bare hand or do I want to try tweezers? I'm not generally a fan of tweezers, to be honest. I find them every bit as fiddly as dealing with the bloody piece. And sometimes more so. But I'm going to give it a whirl. Oh, look at that. Well, that looks really nice, actually. Let me just, oh yeah, that's the ticket. Actually, I can do that probably. Boom, look at that. That's nice. I'm happy with the way they've set that up for us. So yeah. Now, next we shall get the other exhausts on. Or exhaust manifolds, more to the point. I've just seen an advantage of the that whole unit coming off over there. It's going to make the tidy up paintwork there a bit easier. All right. Now, let me just there. There we go. Now, oops, I almost dropped those figures. Here we go. File. There. And get more there. All right. Now, that's interesting. They are actually quite distinctly different, these ones, not even vaguely similar. That's interesting. All right. Well, and this one therefore goes equally much onto. Come on, let's bring that a bit closer. Why am I doing it from a distance? Oops, I'm bopping. Well, I'm going to need to let that dry. I don't want to. Yeah, see, it's moving. If I keep bopping it around, we'll need to let that dry. That's okay. Which brings us, therefore, back to, let's see if we can get this irritating little piece into its correct position. Now, it's that way around. Of course. There we go. This is why I don't like tweezers. Sometimes you're not quite sure. It feels like you got a hold of something and you just don't. And then, of course, it drops. And okay, now I reckon I can do this now. It's might need to try and hold it a bit and guide it a bit, but we'll see how we roll. All right, toothpick. Oop, I might zoom out a bit. Now that's the part we're trying to get it onto. Now, crystal clear is here. Now this will be the last thing I do today. So I've got to get a wriggle on. Alright. Now, hopefully I won't need to move you guys back a bit. There we go. Now, we shall hopefully make use of that marvellous word. Almost. It's not quite in there. I can hear from the horns at the intersection, somebody's doing a special piece of driving. It's a bit of a piece. That much I can confirm. I haven't had this much difficulty with a piece for some time. Let's not use our hand. Ha ha! Victory, I tell you! I'll calm down in a minute. Got it. Ah, that was a saga. Yep. So all that effort just to get that one in. But we have it in place. Once that dries, excuse me a moment, I just want to quickly maybe straighten it just a little. That's better. That will ultimately go into there on our engine block. Now, what I might actually do I reckon this, well, there's a way of finding this out. Might be able to get that back on right now, which I would not be entirely unhappy for. Yeah. All right, now let's see if I can simply In theory, no, it's not dry enough. Need to let that dry a bit more. That's all right. I can do that later. But that will do us for today. All right. Thank you, Bassman. All righty. That is me done for today. Thank you for watching. Actually, I should... Let's put our little away on, shall we? Bring a duck, you know. All right. Now, thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. First-time viewers, you know the drill. Follow, like, or subscribe. Other platforms. I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube, and Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. Now, finally, we come to tomorrow. Tomorrow, I want to get stuck into the Messerschmitt Tech decks. Get them all done and dusted. Thank you, Bassman. Have a good evening. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the outcomes of today. Thanks, David. Bit frustrated that I accidentally knocked the that big chunk of the engine block off, but you know, I'm sure I can get that. In fact, well, if it hadn't been for the fact that the glue had not completely dried on the exhaust manifolds, I'd have had them back on then. So you know, it's not a biggie. You will indeed see me tomorrow. Indeed, this brings me to that subject. I want to get stuck into the Messerschmitt Tech decks, get them done and dusted. That not sure how long that'll take us. Probably 1, maybe 2 streams, and then we'll see about what we might do. We might do a bit of work on the Tiger tank, just for a change of pace. We'll see how we roll. We'll see how we roll. But tomorrow, I reckon Messerschmitt. All right. That said, I can now confirm I'll be back tomorrow at a similar kit time and on the same kit channel. And hopefully I'll catch you good people then. See yous. My pleasure, David.